1035 KTU, the beat of New York. It's Carolina Bermudez and Greg T in the morning with The Situation.
Yes, what's up?
Now, do I address you as Mike The Situation, or do I just address you as Mike now?
I'd have to say that BDS is in the building.
Oh, BDS.
KTU,
Okay.
we got a situation.
Now, I don't want to ignore the beautiful lady by your
Yes.
side, but how do I address you? Do I
That
address
is-
you as Mrs. Situation?
That's Mrs. Situation, also known as Lawrence.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Lauren, thank you for joining us.
Thank
And
you.
she is so beautiful and tiny
Aw,
in
thank
person.
you.
Not that you were,
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so stunning. My goodness,
Thank
you guys are a
you.
beautiful little couple.
Oh, thank you.
Look at you.
Thank
Now, did you guys show up at Angelina's wedding? Were you guys like, we got to bring the sexy down a little bit, let Angelina shine?
I agree
like,
with that. Yeah, we
you know-
wanted to let her have her moment, and we were happy for her. But we definitely
You still looked pretty good.
We definitely showed up, grown and sexy. You feel me?
Absolutely. Now, Greg T was so excited. He could not wait to have you on. You guys have a little bit of a bromance going, so go
We
ahead.
do.
Tell everybody how you're connected.
Well, we're connected because we have our common friend, Jamie from Eat Clean Bro.
Yes, that is my boy.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that I eat clean, bro.
I hear ya.
And that is how we pretty much got hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had told, we obviously known each other over the past
Yeah.
couple years.
Yeah, that's right.
But in the last couple of weeks, Jamie was like, listen, man, you got to go see my boy Greg T.
Yeah.
I'm like, word. I was like, we're about to do press in the city. I said, put the word out. The situation's coming to town, and that's why we're here.
It's just like Santa. You don't have a song.
It looks like you are eating clean, bro. I mean, look at your body and your arms. I cannot stop staring at you.
Yeah,
what
thank
do you
you.
do? Just live at the gym?
You know what? You got to thank God for that prison bid. You know,
We can believe
but
it.
we turned a negative situation into
Yes.
a positive situation. I had lost 40 pounds. I had time to dedicate to sort of losing the weight. It was a very stressful time during the case.
Yeah.
And once you sort of get sentenced, it's sort of like you accept that this is your journey, this is the direction you're going, and you have a decision to make whether to become better or to become bitter. I chose to become bitter, and I was working out twice a day. I was reading the Bible, reading Tony Robbins, being positive, and just making the most of that situation.
Well, now I do have to turn because I think that you were so open, and I have to commend you on that because a lot of people would try to hide it or they would
Yeah.
try to deny it. But both of you, and I saw from your perspective, Lauren, how difficult it was for you.
It was.
But also just from your standpoint, literally driving on the way there, like you weren't stopping, you were letting people in to this whole scenario, which
Right,
is
honey?
incredibly difficult.
Yeah, I think that we've just become so accustomed to living our lives publicly,
Mm-hmm.
and our fans are so loyal and supportive to everything we've gone through that it's like almost part of the healing process for us to like feel our way through everything kind of publicly.
And that must have been a lovely feeling for you to know that she was in good hands, not only with your Jersey Shore fam, but
Yeah.
also with the fans that were
Yeah.
actually supporting you. Because I would see when things would come out, people were like, leave her alone.
Yeah, they
you
were
know?
incredible. I
Yeah,
mean, the
they were.
messages they've sent me, even to this day, they're just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. The fans or the streets are really rooting for us out here.
Yes.
And as a family, we choose to practice positivity.
Yeah.
Having a positive mental attitude is not a joke. At the end of the day, it will save your life. And we've been through a lot of crazy situations over the past year or two. And just having that positive mental attitude has really we've been able to rise above.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being so open and talking about it. I did have a couple of questions for you, and then we can move on and talk about like what you guys are doing now.
course.
So going into prison, what do people... Well, how can you explain the process to people who have never been there before?
What's
What, to
day
go
one
through,
like?
what,
Yeah.
to go through a case?
Yeah.
Like what they're about to face
Oh,
as they're
damn.
coming
Well,
out.
going to prison or
Yeah.
to face a case?
Yeah, for
Like the
like
day
this
you
kind of
go in there.
situation.
I mean, listen.
We don't know what it's like. What is it like day one?
Day one, you're sort of like, all right, I'm going to prison. I have to accept this. And that was the mentality that I was going through and trying to keep a sense of positivity for myself and my wife. Also, faith in God and faith in yourself that you're going to be able to handle whatever's coming. That was the most important thing. Being able to understand that, listen, when I get there, it's probably not going to be cool.
Right.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Be ready for that, to be able to adapt to the situation. And at the same time, once you get there, it's not as bad as you think. It's not necessarily like the movies, but by no means is it a comfortable situation. The food that you're eating is not good.
Your first night, you're alone. You're in your cell. Take me through what goes through a common guy's mind the first night you're there.
You're like, dude, like, wow, like I'm actually in prison right now. And I guess I have a choice right now to accept this and try to move forward and try to progress any way that I can. Any way.
You get emotional?
Whether it's mentally, physically, or spiritually, any way I can to move forward, because that's the only way to keep yourself busy. Because I seen guys in there staring at the wall. Like you could tell mentally, they were not doing well.
They didn't have the tools that you had maybe.
From recovery. From recovery. So when I went in there, I handled every day one day at a time. I chose to rise above and use positivity the whole time. So a lot of guys would be like, dude, you're like the only dude I know smiling in prison right now. I'm like, dude, I'm making the best of it. I'm owning up to my past mistakes, turning my L's into lessons. Okay, and now I have the time to necessarily work on losing the weight. You see, in the search for gold, many people miss the silver lining. I know I just blew your mind just now, but that's what it is.
That's incredible. No, and you know what it is? Some people talk about it, but you actually lived it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it's a different thing to actually just say those things, and then when you go back into your room or wherever it is that you are, be lost in your thoughts. But I think that truly is the reason why you came out better,
from the recovery.
stronger. Absolutely. And now talk about it, because now what is it? And correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's at 4 years.
Yo,
Congratulations.
Yes.
Nice job,
And
man.
you're working with Banyan Treatment Centers. Is that right?
Yes, Banyan Treatment Centers. They have 10 locations across the United States. And
what is your role there, though? Like, what do you do with them so that we can know? And if people know somebody who needs help, we want to encourage them to go.
Me and my wife are recovery advocates.
Okay.
Okay, and I've been through the process where I've walked the shoes of recovery, and my wife has been through the process where she's the family member's point of view.
Gotcha.
Okay, we go to their facilities, we visit their clients, we tour the facilities, we speak a message of experience, strength, and hope, and sort of let the people know that they're not alone.
You inspire people.
Yes, let them know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Just don't forget that light is you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You have a choice.
And did you ever imagine in your life? I mean, look at this. Look at how rich your life is. A lot of people would look at this and say, like, wow, this guy, he did this. All of the negative things that have happened in your life. And instead, look at how rich your life is now because of him. Not just because of the love, but, did you ever picture yourself in this position?
I've known Mike for 15 years.
Oh,
so
really? I didn't know
Yes,
that.
college sweetheart
So
right here.
Stop it.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. So you know him.
I know him to his core.
Yeah.
So
Crazy
I've always
days.
known.
Crazy
But that's what it
days.
takes, right?
she
You're
didn't
gonna need
know
somebody
that.
like that.
It does. That's what it takes. And it takes from the family perspective. It really takes, never losing hope and never losing faith.
She
in
never
that
gave up on
person.
me.
Wow.
Never gave up.
Even if you have like the healthy boundaries, if they're in active addiction, like you're not letting them in the house or whatever's happening, you still don't lose that faith and support in them from afar. And I never lost that in him.
She never lost that in me.
And I've always known he was this guy.
Even when I didn't
guy.
believe in myself, and that was many years in active addiction, and when you're going through depression and anxiety and things and self-doubt, you don't believe in yourself. Sometimes you don't even want to necessarily look in the mirror. My wife, she had always believed into me to the person that I am now, where I'm 4 years clean and sober. I'm giving back. I'm at the top of the field in, my job in entertainment. #1 show on MTV. What up?
That is insane. I always look back, and this is so funny because I think that you're really living a life of service now. If you think about it, if you really examine your life, and before you were only, servicing your friends, sometimes talking to like a grenade.
Yeah,
That's
like
what
I
I
was-
mean? It's like a total flip.
I was all show and no go.
I do want to ask you, Mike, if you had a chance to talk to your 21-year-old self, knowing now, what you didn't know then, what would you tell yourself at 21, just getting ready to start out, drinking and partying and going out? What would you say to that person now?
To continue to move forward one day at a time and be your best self and try to live your best life. But it's crazy because all the mistakes that I've made in life, I wouldn't be the man I am today. I'm the same guy that maybe, I don't know, was it 5 to 7 years ago that, put his head through a concrete wall in Italy.
Yeah.
Like that was a crazy decision. But, if I didn't make those mistakes, I wouldn't be the man I am today, giving back and being in such good shape and just setting a good example for sort of the younger generation how to handle adversity when you face it, whether it's a case or, addiction or depression or anxiety. Right. Our main goal was to sort of, because we knew people were watching, to sort of handle that situation with grace and class.
I think it's interesting. A lot of people love to use the quote or the saying, like, to man up.
I
and I
love it,
think
yeah.
that you are really
Man up.
the example of
Yes.
manning up, but in the
Yes.
most positive
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
genuine way.
I grew up, in
But
an
in front of
Italian
cameras.
in an Italian household. and your family the whole time growing up, they instill in you, given the chance to man up.
Yep.
You better man up. But you don't know if you're really going to be the what you're really made of until you're tested.
That's right.
So technically right now, me and Mrs. Situation are battle tested.
I love it. Are you thinking of doing anything as far as like inspirational speaking, or is there like what's next for you guys? I know that your work with the treatment centers is pretty extensive, and you guys are very
it's definitely some very
committed,
rewarding work.
Right. But then what do you guys see yourself expanding from there?
The next progression, I don't know. I want Mrs. Situation to say what we're kind of working on. We can't necessarily give you the scope of it, but we are working on a spin-off show, a recovery spin-off show where I go around the country and I speak to young adults about substance abuse and the disease of addiction and get them going in the right path and get them going into treatment before, it's too late and they don't even get to treatment.
That's great.
Well,
That's
who
what's
better
up. I
to
like that.
speak to people? I mean, seriously, you're blowing my mind right now.
That's
I liked
great.
you before, but now I'm like, oh my
Yeah,
god,
dude,
my heart,
it's going to be
you know?
dope. I'm going to be bringing the inspiration, and
I'm
I
seeing you in
can't
such a
wait.
different light as
I
well. I'm like,
know,
this is like,
absolutely.
it's weird,
this is a
man.
beautiful
Yeah.
thing, and I'm
This
so
is
glad.
great, though.
Guys, we want to thank you so much for coming in, and we want people to know where they can find you. Where should we reach out? If people have somebody that they think might need treatment, where should they go?
Well, they should go to Banyan Treatment Centers. We have a phone number for anyone that's looking for resources. That's the thing with addiction. People don't know where to go.
Yeah.
They don't know who to contact. And we have pretty much a hotline set up to help you get situated at 1-888-270-5712. If you know anyone or yourself that's suffering from the disease of addiction, substance abuse, or any mental health issues.
Nice
Well,
job.
continued success and health and just all of the wonderful things that we can offer to you
Yes.
guys. Thank
Yes,
you for coming up to
positive vibes
KTU.
only. What's up?
Yes, thank you guys.
Love
We
that.
appreciate
Love that. Nice
you.
job. Nice job.
Okay,
Thank
take
you.
care.